Welcome, to your Saturday morning reality check. It is September 27th.
And that brief moment you might have had thinking yesterday's news wasn't real.
Yeah, sorry about that. It definitely happened. We've picked through the pieces for you.
Polished them up a bit, added some essential context.
And naturally, a healthy dose of cynicism. This is Bad Things Well Said Icelandic Newsroom.
Our job really is to give you that shortcut, the fast track to being, cynically well-informed.
Because ignoring it doesn't actually make it go away, sadly.
We'll cover the breaks, the retreats, the whole messy picture.
Right. And look, before we dive into the absurdity buffet, if you like what we do here, please do hit subscribe. Give us that thumbs up.
It helps, more than you know.
Okay, so where else to start but the weather? That trampoline low.
Less trampoline, more like a targeted assault on anything not bolted down.
Exactly. But the weirdest part for me, the temperatures yesterday. Skjaldingsteyr hits 18.7 Celsius.
And Siglufjord, 18.6.
So the far north, land of ice, basically got summer. While the south, where most people live,
Got flood warnings, yeah. Classic Iceland, a meteorological prank.
it really felt like it.
And don't be fooled by today's calm. That gentle southwesterly, Sunday looking bright.
It's a trap.
It's absolutely a trap. Think of it as a ceasefire, a reloading period. Because
That's
Monday, right on schedule, here comes the next low pressure system. Strong gales, more biblical rain.
Of course. Just lulling us into a false sense of security before the next infrastructure stress test.
Pretty much. Standard operating procedure for the atmosphere around here.
Speaking of things hitting hard, the Gufunes verdict, the Horlag Schuffen case.
Right. Their sentences were significant.
Truly exceptional.
Yeah.
Stefan Blackburn and Lucas Geir Ingvarsson, 17 years each.
And Matthias Bjorn Erlingsson, 14 years.
Now, the legal bit here is interesting, isn't it? Going over the usual 16-year maximum.
Exactly. The court explicitly cited the 5 hours, that prolonged period of torture.
They argued it was a separate layer of cruelty.
And the court agreed. They basically said, this level of malice demands a higher penalty. It sets a new precedent, legally speaking.
A victory for drawing a line against extreme cruelty. Until
Stefan Blackburn opened his mouth, leaving the courtroom.
that quote, "Ha eru ekki alltaf jólin."
It's not always Christmas. I mean,
Yeah.
wow.
Chills, right? Forget the legal arguments, the
Yeah.
documents, everything.
That one line, it's a character study in 5 words, a complete void of remorse.
It wasn't regret, it wasn't shock. It was a shrug. A truly disturbing shrug at fate, at justice, everything.
It tells you more about the person than the crime, almost, the depth of the problem.
And it's worth noting, the court did make distinctions. The 20-year-old woman was acquitted.
Right, and the money launderer got a suspended sentence. They isolated the core brutality.
Okay, let's shift gears. The other major impact of that trampoline low.
The structural punchline, as you called it.
Hringvegurinn, Route 1, our national artery, severed.
Near Jökulsá 50 meters of road just gone, washed away.
Took out 100 meters of the old embankment, too.
So the country is literally cut in half. People stuck.
It's the perfect, if bleak, metaphor, isn't it, for Iceland's fragility.
Absolutely. We project this image of rugged self-sufficiency, modern nation.
But snap that one single thread of asphalt.
And the whole thing just grinds to a halt. My favorite example,
Go on.
the football match. Vestadield. Vesturi versus IBV
Postponed.
postponed. Not because of wind or rain on the pitch, because the IBV team literally could not travel to Ceasefire.
Wow. A top-tier sports game stopped because the road broke.
That's not just inconvenience, that's systemic dependency laid bare. That's fragility.
It really is. And the timing. While this is happening, this immediate collapse.
We're simultaneously stuck in debates about future infrastructure.
Right. Like the Westford's analysis. Kletschall's tunnel beneficial, everyone agrees.
But it's ninth on Vegarjan's priority list.
9th. So we can't maintain the present and we're stalled on building the future.
It's administrative quicksand. This flood just ripped the cover off that paralysis.
Speaking of paralysis, and maybe elegant escapes from it, political transitions.
Ah, yes, the masterclass in political retreat we saw yesterday.
Asmundur Einar Dessanen, resigning from the Progressive Party leadership.
Textbook. Lost his seat. Party's polling is, dismal.
So he announces a move to consultancy work for the UN in Denmark.
It's the ultimate, I'm taking my talents elsewhere. The political version of, you can't fire me, I quit.
Exactly. Wrapped in a respectable international bow. And the choreography.
Flawless. Almost immediate, Janina Brynjolfsdottir throws her hat in the ring.
And the stated reason. The party has lost connection with voters.
Which is political code for our internal numbers are terrifying.
His exit paves the way for a supposed renewal without the messy optics of him being pushed out.
It's pure political theater, stabilizing the brand, but it tells you just how bad things must look internally.
Okay, let's look outwards for a moment. Wider lens. Europe's getting jittery.
Very. Denmark talking hybrid war over drones, the EU pushing for a coordinated drone wall against Russia.
The reaction there seems pretty swift, pretty unified. Mobilized, even.
In Iceland,
Our approach, studied nonchalance, seems about right.
the Prime Minister, Kristrún Frostadóttir, specifically chose not to convene the National Security Council.
Based on the police review saying no imminent threat.
So here's the question for you, the listener. Is that calm, sensible prudence?
Or is it a potentially dangerous naivety? I mean, we're a founding NATO member.
With no military of our own, entirely reliant on those alliance systems.
Systems now being actively tested by these very hybrid tactics, drones included.
So to just shrug. When neighbors are sounding alarms,
It feels like a huge bet on geographical isolation. A bet that might be outdated,
it's that classic island mentality, perhaps, believing the trouble stops at the water's edge.
but it doesn't, does it? The world's conflicts are washing ashore in other ways. Culturally,
Which brings us inevitably to Eurovision.
of course. Where else? The Israeli-Palestinian conflict has officially arrived in our national song contest.
RUV, the national broadcaster, reportedly unlikely to join in 2026 if Israel competes.
Forcing the EBU into some kind of extraordinary vote.
Drama. Samukapnin. Once a source of pure, uncomplicated joy, now a foreign policy headache?
Glitter and geopolitics, what a mix.
But there's a more direct conflict point for many people. That updated UN list.
Right. Companies operating in illegal Israeli settlements? This isn't abstract stuff.
No, this hits home because the list includes names like Booking.com
Airbnb.
and TripAdvisor.
Basically the absolute cornerstones of modern travel planning. And Icelandic tourism itself relies heavily on them too.
So suddenly, booking your weekend getaway or your summer holiday,
Becomes an ethical tightrope walk. Convenience versus conscience.
the global issue lands right on your laptop screen in your travel plans. That's the friction point.
Okay, let's pivot from friction to, well, actual high notes. Genuine excellence.
Because there were some bright spots.
Big time. Vikingur Haidar Olafsson, the pianist, won the gold medal of the Royal Philharmonic Society in London.
That's huge. Puts him in the company of literal legends. Brahms, Stravinsky.
Undeniable talent, earning global recognition purely on merit, which is fantastic.
And locally, too, good things happening. Natasha S., the Icelandic Russian poet, getting rave reviews for Markamur I Heimsók.
And the play Iphigenia I Osprey, also doing well. Real cultural vibrancy.
Genuine artistic success stories.
But, and here's the kicker, the big, cynical, systemic but.
I know where this is going.
While we celebrate these artists, working with probably minimal resources.
The state is lining up to give Christopher Nolan's production, The Odyssey, nearly 900 million ISK.
900 million Icelandic krona for country promotion.
Now, to be precise, it's a tax rebate system designed to attract big films. It's not a direct grant in the same way.
Okay, fair distinction. But the question remains, doesn't it? Is that the best way to spend or forego 900 million?
Is renting out our landscape to Hollywood really better cultural promotion than, say, directly supporting the next Vikingur Haidar?
Or the next Natasha S? Are we subsidizing scenery over actual substance?
It feels like subsidizing backdrops over bolstering our own creative achievements. A weird prioritization.
It really does. Which leads perfectly into the systemic failure grab bag. Quick hits of things not working. Let's do it. First up, illegal gambling. Still a farce. Estimates are 10 to 15 billion ISK flowing untaxed out of Iceland every year.
Untaxed billions. Why? To protect Iceland's spill, the state's gambling monopoly.
A monopoly that's stuck in the past and just can't compete online.
So the system meant to fund charities is actually effectively subsidizing offshore illegal operations because it won't adapt.
The irony is painful. Remember Oma Hafstein's comment?
Oh yes, the biting sarcasm. Maybe the charities should just start importing narcotics to make up the shortfall.
Because the government seems fine with billions flowing out untaxed elsewhere. It highlights the absurdity.
Policy failure as performance art. Next item.
Reykjavik childcare. Or the lack thereof.
A double whammy failure here.
Yep. 515 kids waiting for after-school care.
Yeah.
Why? Staffing shortages. chronic ones.
Plus, on top of that, 400 preschool places just unusable.
Because the buildings are literally falling apart.
Hmm.
Mold, sewage issues, general decay.
So you've got staff shortages and crumbling infrastructure. It's preschool roulette for hundreds of families.
Families being shuffled between temporary locations for years sometimes.
Capital city failing at the basics. It's a mess. Micro disaster reflecting macro problem.
Right. Let's cleanse the palate. Sports. Anything less depressing.
Well, the Ryder Cup started. Europe's off to a strong start, which is nice for them.
Okay. And domestically.
The big one today is the football playoff final. Keflavik versus HK. Tension there.
Right. But the ultimate Icelandic win this week.
Yes. The peak Iceland achievement.
Johannes Franke Hansen, crowned world champion.
Wait for it. Bench press shooting in St. Louis, Missouri.
Bench press shooting. Being the absolute best in the world, it's something most people have never, ever heard of.
If that's not quintessentially Icelandic, I don't know what is. Brilliant, niche, world class.
Perfect. So that's the wrap-up. Verdicts that chill you, roads that vanish, politicians who exit gracefully.
And a 900 million krona question about Hollywood versus homegrown talent.
Thanks for tuning into this Saturday review on Bad Things Well Said Icelandic Newsroom. And maybe as you enjoy the brief, calm weather today, ponder this. If that single strip of asphalt, the ring road, is so fragile,
What other fundamental systems in your life, maybe personal, maybe national, are just one low-pressure system away from a similar collapse? What looks solid, but is actually incredibly dependent on one thread?
Ooh, deep thought for the weekend. Love it. If you enjoyed pondering that with us, please do hit subscribe, give us a thumbs up.
It genuinely helps us keep doing this. We appreciate it.
Until next time.
Take care.
The voices in this podcast were generated by AI. However, all information, facts, claims, concepts, and the script itself were prepared, editorially reviewed, and are the original work of a human author.